Well, to begin with, today, I let go of someone that I once deeply loved forever. Just a while ago, I held on to them so tightly that it started to consume me. Not just them, I held on to so many things in life. A failed project, a friendship that ended abruptly, the nagging thought that I wasn't good enough. I convinced myself that if I just kept analyzing, fixing, and trying harder, I could change the outcome. But I was drained, emotionally, mentally, and physically. I felt lost and confused as no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't fix things. One day, I read a quote that shook me. You can't start the next chapter of your life if you keep rereading the last one. That was my wake-up call. I had spent so much time holding on to the past that I was missing the present. I realized that I was trying to hold on to something that was beyond my control. I was trying to hold on to someone who didn't want to be held. And so I did something radical. I let go. Today we're going to talk about why letting go is the most underrated superpower for inner peace and how you can master it to transform your life. So, are we talking about it just because of a heartbreak? Not really. We all struggle with holding on to grudges, holding on to control, holding on to the fear of what others think. And here's the paradox. The tighter we hold on, the heavier life feels. From students dealing with exam stress to adults drowning in work pressure, the inability to let go keeps us anxious, restless, and exhausted. But what if I told you that true power lies in surrender? Let me give you an example. Dr. David R. Hawkins' book, Letting Go, talks about the pathway of surrender. Dr. Hawkins explains that we experience emotions in layers, and the deeper we hold on to them, the more they control us. He describes 3 main traps that keep us from letting go: suppression and denial. We pretend everything is fine while bottling up emotions. Expression and justification. We vent and seek validation for our pain instead of releasing it. Release and surrender. The hardest but most liberating step, allowing emotions to pass without clinging to them. Let's try a simple exercise based on his idea. Next time a thought or memory makes you anxious, don't suppress it or fight it. Acknowledge it, observe it, and then tell yourself, I release this thought. It no longer serves me. Breathe deeply and imagine letting it float away like a balloon. Well, did you see that change? I know it sounds simple, but trust me, it's life-changing. Well, let's take a look at some really famous and successful people in the world and how they exercise the power of letting go. The lesson from Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. After winning 6 NBA championships, Michael Jordan was forced to retire due to conflicts with management. Instead of holding on to bitterness, he pivoted, reinvented himself, and found success in business and philanthropy. And the infamous Steve Jobs and Apple story, fired from his own company, Jobs could have clung to resentment. Instead, he let go, embraced change, and returned to make Apple even greater. Or something as common as a student facing exam pressure. A college student, overwhelmed with competition and expectations, finally stopped obsessing over results and focused on learning with curiosity. The result? Less anxiety, better retention, and improved grades. What do they all teach us? Exactly, letting go creates space for something better. Why don't you try it for yourself? Ask yourself, what are you holding on to that's keeping you stuck? A past mistake? A toxic relationship? The need to control everything? What if you gave yourself permission to release it? Letting go doesn't mean giving up. It means accepting what you can't change and moving forward with clarity and peace. Don't believe me? Don't believe me? Let's look at a few scientific evidence. The Harvard study of adult development, one of the longest-running studies on happiness, found that strong relationships are the strongest predictor of long-term happiness and health. The study emphasizes emotional well-being and does implicate letting go of grudges in relationships as a crucial factor. However, the research on forgiveness and emotional resilience, including work by Dr. Robert Waldinger, director of the Harvard study, does support that releasing negative emotions improves health and longevity. The Stanford Forgiveness Project, led by Dr. Fred Luskin, demonstrated that forgiveness training reduces stress, anger, and physical symptoms, like lower blood pressure and improved sleep. Participants who practiced forgiveness showed measurable health benefits. Studies on mindfulness, like the research from Harvard and Mass General, show that practices such as meditation can rewire the brain through neuroplasticity. This increases gray matter in areas linked to emotional regulation, like the prefrontal cortex, and reduces reactivity in the amygdala, which is the stress center. Letting go is a core mindfulness skill tied to resilience. In the end, here's what I've learned. Holding on is easy, letting go is powerful. When you let go of control, you gain freedom. When you let go of expectations, you find joy. When you let go of fear, you make space for growth. So here's my final question to you. What's one thing you can let go of today that will bring you inner peace? Comment down your responses below for a more public commitment. Like, share and subscribe to VaruVerse if this gave you the power of letting go. Think about it. And remember, true strength lies in surrender.